Good morning, YouTube. So I'm all done getting ready for today. So pretty much today should be a pretty big day for us. So I think we have 13 for today. I'm gonna knock out two because they're further out. It's about like a 40-minute drive. As y'all can tell, I'm still a little sick, but yeah, it's about a 40-minute drive over there. And then pretty much I'm gonna come back around like 9:30 or 10, pick up Jacob, and then we have 11 to do. And then today's the day where we have like 7 or 8 properties that are literally right next to each other. So it's pretty much the whole neighborhood, or like one section of the neighborhood, because it is a pretty big neighborhood or cul-de-sac or whatever. But anyways, let's get it. So as you can see, 7:30, 61 degrees. It is a little chilly. I actually got my heater on right now for the first time since winter. But let me know in the comments, are you guys looking forward to fall, or do you wish that like the season would last a little bit longer? I mean, it's still late October. We're about to hit September. So, I mean, we still have about like 2-3 more months worth of work, especially if you switch over to like mulching leaves come November. But we're more than halfway done. So for me personally, I'm looking forward to it because I am I am a little burnt out. I want to stay home. I want to spend more time with the family, maybe go on a little vacation. But for me, in my case, I've budgeted. I've been saving up for the past few months because I know, again, this isn't my first rodeo. Where for me, I know that it's going to it slows down for me during winter. I'm not gonna get any calls, and pretty much the only income that's gonna come my way, or that the business is gonna bring, is from existing clients that they know, like, come winter we switch over to once a month visits and whatnot. But let me know, are you guys excited? Are you guys a little bit nervous? Are you anxious because that money's gonna stop coming in? Or are you looking forward to it because you're still going to be bringing in the same amount of money because you bill the same throughout the whole year? So property number 1, small little cookie cutter yard. So that one's 60. Yeah, it does suck that I drive like 30. This was like a 35-minute drive up here, but I do have 2 in this neighborhood. I do have like 5 or 6 more in this area. But I didn't consolidate like that route, so I'm having to like I'm here in this area like every week, and it should be where like I'm here in this area just like once a week, and it would avoid like the driving time and whatnot. But pretty much they needed like their property done like that week, and I just kept them at that. So it is what it is. Next year I'll consolidate, and my route density is going to be a lot tighter. But I really wanted to talk about our mindset and our mentality. And y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not prideful enough to say that like I'm always correct. I actually encourage people to debate me, or people to put their opinion and how they think of it. I'm very empathetic. I always try to put myself in other people's shoes or how they think and whatnot. But pretty much yesterday, Jacob and I kind of got in a discussion, and I caught myself getting frustrated because he understood what I was saying, but he wasn't willing to like change his thinking. And pretty much what we were saying, or what we were talking about, I told him, I was like, I'm worried for Jacob because the season's almost coming to an end. Like in my area, like we only have like 10 weeks worth of work left, and I am Jacob's main source of income. Excuse me. I am Jacob's main source of income. So, I've been telling them like, hey, I was like, if I was you, I would start doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or Amazon. That way, when we're done for the day at like 3 or 4, like you can go on and do that and kind of like double your income or bring a little bit of money on top of that. And it's always just like some excuse. Like for him, it's like, well, my car's older. I don't want to put the miles. I don't want more like issues to arise. And my thinking is, well, say you do DoorDash and Uber Eats, save up like $1,000 and have that just be like your vehicle emergency funds. And then anything over $1,000, like you start keeping that or you start saving that. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. But then like he's not, then he goes back to like, well, he just doesn't want to put the miles because he's already driving like an hour to my house, and then, back and forth, so and so. But he's at a point where he's really just like letting go of his future or his life, and he's really just allowing God to take over, which I understand. And in a couple of my videos, like I encourage, us to get closer to God and to build that relationship. But what I was trying to tell him is like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like you can't just like, yes, let go and fully leave it up to God, and he's going to make things work how it should work. But I'm also going to put in the work behind it. And that's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, you can't just like not do anything or not apply or not try to get a second job or whatever. And just like the world like to magically work around that. I was like, it just doesn't work like that. And I'm sure there's like some rare occasions where it does work like that, and God really does work his, you see miracles and it works out. I was like, but I'm just not programmed like that. I was like, I like to have like a lot of safety nets, so that if plan A doesn't work, then I have plan B. If plan B doesn't work, then plan C. I have plan C. And I know the counter argument will be, well, if you have a plan B or plan C, then plan A is never going to work out. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do my best so that plan A works out. But if life just happens, or, like I said in my other video, like if things don't go according to plan, I really don't get upset that much, because I know that it was meant not to work out, and I just let go, But I also back it up behind the work that is needed to accomplish these things and whatnot. This grass, all the grass on this property grows so much. I didn't even drop my deck. So this is probably like 4.5 or 4 3/4, maybe even 5. If I drop it any lower, I would just spend like 20 minutes blowing all the clumps and grass clippings. So if they want another cut, they'll have to. I think next year they're gonna switch over to weekly, or I'm gonna tell them, or increase my prices. But anyways, yeah, like say like your main goal would be like, obviously like saving up for a house and whatnot, and that's gonna take you like 4 to 5 years of you saving up like maybe 20 to 30% or 40% of your income, and slowly putting it, in your savings. And after, a few years, you'll finally have enough for the down payment, for escrow, and for any other fees. And, it just takes a long time for you to see results. And a lot of people, will throw in the towel, or will just give up because they're not seeing results right away. And one thing that Jacob, what he brought up was, well, he's like, I've tried doing it my way and it never works out. So he's like, this time I'm just going to let go. He's like, I am worried and nervous and stressed out about my future, but, I know that it's all going to work out, because, God's will take care of it, or, his love will make things happen and whatnot. And for me, it's like, yes, like I agree with that. But if there's no action behind that, like what do you expect the outcome to be? And he is going to get like a part-time job, during the winter. And what I'm trying to tell him is like, I was like, if I was you, I was like, I would try to get like a part-time job like right now, and it's just like he's not willing to do it. And then, as the conversation kept going, I kind of just shut off. I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, I get you. No, I understand where you're coming from. And it's like, I'm not going to try to help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. And that saying where you could lead a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink out of it. And it's like, okay, sure. Okay. And yes, like to an extent, I feel obligated to, I stressed out because I do, I love Jacob. We have great chemistry. We work great. I wouldn't fire him for anything. I mean, he would have to mess up pretty bad for me to fire him, but I want him to stay with me long term. And it's because I care about him that I'm worried about him and whatnot. But when I first hired him, or when he came on, or when the first couple of weeks or first few days, or even before he started working with me, I told him, I was like, hey, this is how my business works. Like, we work from March till November pretty much. And November is a big if, because, there's nothing to do out here once all these leaves start to fall. But luckily towards the middle of November, a lot of these leaves will start to fall, or, I would say like 50-60% of them have fallen. So we'll have work. But, I told, from the get-go, I told them, like, come November, like, it's going to slow down, like, the 30-35 hours that you're working with me, or, it's going to come to an end. And kind of just give them a heads up, like, this is what you're signing up for. And financially, like, I can't pay you the same amount as, during spring and summer, because I don't have it like that. The business doesn't have it like that. My main goal is that eventually I can put him on a salary, and, we will have it like that. But we're not there yet. But I don't know. He just didn't really want to, he understood what I was saying and the concept behind it. But at the end, I really just shut off. So just happened right now. I was filling up the Skags because I'm about to pick up Jacob. But this older man pulls up, says, beautiful truck, beautiful setup. He's like, I love it. And I said, thank you, sir. And then pretty much he just said his dad used to do it. So he's like, as you know, there's good money to be made in lawn care. And I was like, oh, yes, sir, I do know that. And, and he told me, have a blessed day. I told him, have a blessed day as well. 4 years, or I guess 4 years. That's how long it's taken me for this, pretty much, for my setup. And, I'm not special. I'm not a chosen one from God or the universe. Like, this is just a prime example of what I'm trying to get through to Jacob. It's like, if you put in the time and you stay disciplined and you stay on track to your goal, God willing, you're going to make it happen. And it's just like, you can't just let the universe or not God to an extent, like, dictate your life. But God gave us free will to do whatever we want. And if we put in the time and effort, God willing, we can accomplish, I would say, probably most of our goals. But you can't just sit back and not really do anything and then expect these results. And like I said, like, a lot of people are just going to throw in the towel before you see any results. For me, I had a vision, and I was like, I know if I stick to this plan, if I stick to this list, I'm going to get there eventually. And now that I'm here, like, I give everything to God, because he gave me the energy, the power, or the willpower to keep going, even when I didn't want to be out here and do it. But I knew in the end, I was like, okay, like, I need to do this. But anyways, like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all.